Good morning, sir, and good morning, my dear friends. Our today's topic is review of literature. So, what is the meaning of review of literature? Review means again review. Literature means sahitya. Again, we have to see the sahitya or we have to see the itihas about a particular phenomena or the particular topic. So first we will start with the introduction. Our review of literature is one of the most important steps in the research process. Next, it is an account of what is already known about a particular phenomena. So review of literature, as the name suggests, review means we have to again review the or what is the already known about a particular phenomena, or we have to see what are the things already established about a particular subject or the particular thing. Next, the main purpose of literature review is to convey to the readers about the work already done and the knowledge and the ideas that have been already established on a particular topic of research. So, our main purpose of review of literature is to convey the readers about the work already done. Means the work which we have already done, we have to convey that to the further or the future readers. The literature review, it is a laborious task. As we all are knowing, we already did the review literature to justify our problem statement area. So it is a laborious task. It means it will take the lots of time and it will take the lots of energy. So, but then too, it is essential if the research process is to be successful. If we have to make the research process successful, so our literature review should be important. Next, definition of review of literature. A literature review, it is an evaluative report of information found in the literature related to the selected area of study. What is the meaning of this thing? It is an evaluative report. It means the scientists or the researchers, what they have did about the particular topic. So they have did the evaluations about the particular topic. So our literature review, they are the evaluative reports about the particular phenomena, that is the selected area of study. The review describes, summarizes, evaluates and clarifies this literature. So our review, what the review will do, it will describes, it will summarizes and evaluates and clarifies the literature. It gives a theoretical base for the research and helps to determine the nature of research. So our review of literature, what it will do, it gives a theoretical base for the research. Means for the research, it will give best evidence that we have what we are doing that is correct, or what we are doing that we are doing in a correct way. It helps to determine the nature of research, or it will also help to determine the nature of research, whether it is a qualitative research or it is a quantitative research, or it will also help to find out the whether it is a pure research or whether it is a applied research. Clear? So it is given by the Queensland University, that is 1999. Next definition is literature review. It is the body of the text that aims to review the critical points of knowledge on a particular topic of research. It means suppose we are having the particular topic. Suppose mine research topic is the early age of Minarche. That is only my topic. So what is the critical points about that thing? That means associated factors of early Minarche as well as the what is the age of Minarche. So that is the critical points of knowledge that I am going to see about the particular topic. Our particular topic is that is early Minarche or the age of Minarche in the adolescent girls. So that is given by the ANM 2000. Next definition is a literature review. It is an account of what has been already established or published on a particular research topic by accredited scholars or researchers. It means the things what the researchers have already did, or what the researchers have published, or the researchers, which type of researchers they are the accredited. It means they are the certified researchers who have conducted some researches and they have published their researches. So that is a literature review. That definition is given by the University of Toronto, that is 2001. So these three are the definitions of our review of literature. Next comes to the importance of literature review. So what is the importance of literature review? First importance is identification of research problem and development and refinement of research questions. So if we have to find the research problem area, so firstly we have to do the literature review about the number of the topics, or we have to keep the one topic in our mind, and then we have to see the literature available on the particular topic, and from that we have to take the ideas what the research have conducted and what are the critical points they have suggested or they have published on the previous researches. Or second thing is orientation or to what is known and not known about an area of inquiry to ascertain what researcher can best contribute to knowledge. It means it will help to give us knowledge about the what is already known and what is not known about the particular area of research. Third thing is determination of any gaps or inconsistencies in the body of knowledge. If we are having any gaps in the knowledge, means some researchers have conducted some research, like some researchers have conducted the research in the 2001 and some researchers have conducted a research on the particular topic in the 2003. So these two researches, they are having the some knowledge gap, means the some points of the particular thing they have left. So that particular points that have left, we have to take these points and we have to go for the further research. Next, discovery of the unanswered questions about the subjects, concepts or the problem, means we have to discover the unanswered questions about the particular subject, topic and the problems. Next, determination of a need to replicate a prior study in different study settings or different samples or size or the different study populations. Literature review, it will help us to determine whether there is a need to replicate the previous study or not. Means the study has conducted in the past, but what we have to do, we have to replicate that study in the different study settings or the different, we have to take the different sample size or different samples, or we have to take the different study population to see whether the results of the that past study are the same in the future also, or there is a difference between the results between the past study, or if we are changing the setting of the study, or if we are changing the study population, so if there is a difference between the results of the study or not. So we will check the validity or reliability of the study also by these methods. Next thing is identification of the relevant theoretical or conceptual framework for the research problem. If we have to identify the conceptual framework for research problem, we can go for the literature review. Then identification or development of the new or refined clinical interventions to test through empirical research. If we have to develop the new clinical interventions, or we have to develop the new technologies in the field of clinical area, so we can also go for the literature review. Then description of the strengths and weaknesses of the design and methods of inquiry and the instruments used in earlier research work. Means with the help of review of the literature, we can also find out what are the strengths and what are the weaknesses of the particular method. Suppose some researchers have used the consecutive sampling technique, so we can see whether the consecutive sampling technique is effective or not. What is the strength of using this sampling technique, or what is the weaknesses of using this sampling technique? So with the help of that, we can find out the same, like that we can see the instruments weakness or the strength also with the help of review of literature. Then development of hypothesis to be tested in the research study. If we have to develop the hypothesis also, first we can go for the review of literature, and from that we can take the ideas or we can take the knowledges, and after that we can apply the hypothesis or we can generate the hypothesis for our study. It helps in planning the methodology of the present research study. So if we have to plan the methodology of the research study, so we can also take the help of the review of literature. It also helps in development of the research instrument. It means it also helps in develop the like research tools, research methods and different types of the data collection methods. We can also go for the selection. Then identification of the suitable design and the data collection method for the research study. If we have to identify the different designs, like what research design is suitable for us, like qualitative or the quantitative, we can take the help of the review of literature for selection of the study design. Clear? So these are some importances of the review of literature. Next comes to the purposes of literature review. So what can be the purposes of literature review? First, the purpose of literature review is to convey to the reader previous knowledge and the facts established on a topic, their strength and the weaknesses. The same point we have studied in the importance also. It means what is the main purpose of literature review? To convey the previous knowledge or the previous facts established on a particular topic or the published on a particular topic, or we can see the what is the strength of that knowledge and what is the weakness of that knowledge. Next, The literature review allows the reader to be updated with the state of research in the field. Suppose if we have to see whether there are new researches are coming in the relationship with the HIV and the AIDS, or the new researches are coming. Suppose now our recent topic is coronavirus. So with the help of coronavirus, in this topic also, like in the coronavirus also, there are the number of researches are coming nowadays. So with the help of that, we can update with the what is going on in the world also with the help of research studies. Or any contradictions that may exist which challenges finding of our research studies. Or if there are any contradictions, what is the meaning of contradictions? Any two opposite choices between the two researchers, or two opposite ideas of the two researches or the researchers. So with the help of two opposite ideas also, if we have to find out whether which idea is important and which idea is not relevant, so we can again go for the review of literature to justify that this idea is more acceptable and the another idea is rejectable. Then it helps to develop the research investigative tools and to improve the research methodologies. So with the help of review of literatures, we can go for the finding out of the research tools, means which tools we are going for the use of data collections and to improve the research methodologies. Or if we have to improve our methodologies also, we can go for review of literature. It also provides the knowledge about the problems faced by the previous researchers while studying the same topic. Suppose I am going to study about the early menarche, that is my research topic. So on that, firstly what I have done the lots of review of literature. With the help of that, I have seen that particular researchers have faced this problem if he or she has used a particular design, or if he or she has used a particular method of the data collection, or if he or she has used a particular tools of data collection. So with the help of that, I can conclude that which tools or which design I should take for my study. Next, place each in the context of its contribution to the understanding of subject under review. We can see with the help of review of literature which persons have contributed more about the particular topic or the particular subject. Then describe the relationship of the each study to another research studies under consideration. If we have to establish the relationship between the two research studies, we can also go for the review of literature. Then identify the new ways to interpret and shed light on any gaps in the previous research. If we have to find out any gaps or any shortening or any weaknesses of the previous researchers, we can go for the review of literature. Then resolve the conflicts amongst seemingly contradicted previous studies. Means if there are any conflict between two studies, means seemingly, what is the meaning of seemingly here? Seemingly means similar studies, and contradictory means by looking they are the similar studies, means topic, their research topic is the same, but they are having the different or the opposite ideas on a particular topic only. So if there is any conflict between these two studies, like these studies, we can go for review of literature and we can resolve that conflict also. Then identify the areas of the prior scholarship to prevent the duplication of efforts. Means we can see whether on the particular topic there are the null researches have happened or not, or if the researches have happened, so what new we are going to do on that research area. Suppose on the early menarche there are the lots of researches have happened in the previous, but main thing is what I am going to do new in that area. If I am taking the same research studies which I have conducted in the past, so that means there is a duplication of efforts also, so there is a no use of that type of studies. Then point a way forward for the further research. Means review of literature, it will provide us a pathway, or it will provide us a way to for the future research. Then see what has or what has not been investigation. With the help of review of literatures, we can know what is already known and what is not known about the particular topic, or what has been investigated and what has not been investigated. So clear. So these are the purposes of review of literature, and there are some other purposes also, like develop the general explanations for the observed variations in the behavior of phenomena. Means if we have to observe whether there is any like in the qualitative studies, if we have to see whether there are any variations in the behavior, so we can use this review of literature. And then learn how others have defined and measured the key concepts. We can see whether the other researcher, what the other researchers have how the other researchers have defined and how they have measured the particular concepts. Then identifying the data sources that other researchers have used, means we can identify what are the tools that the other researchers have used. Then develop the alternative research projects. If we have to find out the research, or if we have to develop the research projects, where we can go for the review of literature. Then discover how a research project is related to the work of others. It means that is the same thing only. If we have to relate the two researches, or if we have to relate the two research projects, we can go for review of literature. So these are the purposes of review of literature. So our main purpose of review of literature is to see whether what are the studies or what are the researches have happened in the previous on the particular topic, and what is the gap between the knowledge, or if we have to define the previous knowledge, we can go for review of literature also. Next thing is sources of literature review. So what can be the sources of literature review? There are two types of sources. First is the primary sources and second is the secondary sources. So first there are the primary sources. So what is the meaning of primary sources here? Primary sources, they are the sources. They are written by a person who developed the theory or conducted the research. It means they are the sources, or they are the original research studies. Means they are the original research studies that are conducted by the researcher only, or it is a description of an investigation written by a person who conducted it. It means the person or that the particular researcher who have conducted the research, that only have to write that particular thing. It means that is only the primary source of review of literature, that is the original information. Most primary sources are found in the published literatures. It means those we are having the particular journals, or they are the specified journals. So in the specified journals we are having the lots of researches. So that researches, they are the primary sources of review of literature. Example of the primary sources: an original qualitative study on patient experiences in the ICU, that is conducted by the name of this researcher. Then feeling safe, the psychological needs of ICU patients, Journal of Nursing Scholarship, that is our page number. So that is the original qualitative study on the patient experiences in the ICU. It means that is a primary source because it is the original qualitative study. Next is the secondary sources. Secondary sources, research documents, they are the description of the studies prepared by the someone other than the original researchers. It means the original researcher, suppose I have conducted some research, but someone else will read my study, and he or she can publish my studies with the by taking consent from me, or by taking consent from the authorities also. They are written by the people other than the individuals who developed the theory or conducted the research. It means the same thing. The secondary sources, they are the sources that are written by the some other persons who have not developed the theory or who have not conducted the research. Secondary sources, they may be used when primary sources are not available. Secondary sources when they will use when the primary sources are not available. So what is the example of secondary sources? A literature review on the patient experiences in the ICU. So what is the difference between these two sentences? So in the primary sources, an original qualitative study on patient experiences in the ICU, that is the original qualitative study. And in the secondary sources, what is there? A literature review means the particular researcher has did the literature review on the previous studies, and then he has written in their own language, or he has written by their own ideas or by their own knowledge. So that is the secondary sources. The next, they are the general sources of review of literature. The main sources from where literature can be searched are the first, magazines and the newspapers, electronic database, from books, from journals, from conference papers, thesis, encyclopedia, dictionary, and the research reports. So these are some research sources of the literature review. So first comes to the electronic sources. So what is the electronic sources? As we all are using the electronic sources nowadays to go for the review of literature. So electronic sources, with the help of the Google, or with the help of the like Yahoo, or with the help of the web seminars, or with the help of the web pages, or with the help of websites, we can go for the review of literature. So electronic literature search through web may be very useful, but sometimes it can be the time consuming, as we all have did the literature review, but what we have find out, what the problem we have faced, it is very time consuming and unpredictable, because there are many websites and the web pages that can lead to the information overload and the confusion. Means what we are going to search, we will find the number of the researches on a particular topic, but we are not able to find out what we want and what is useful for us. So that will create the confusion and that will create the overload on us. So that is the drawback of the electronic sources. But nowadays we all are using the electronic sources only mostly. Then journal literature search can be conducted through the, usually these are the some websites by which we can go for the literature review, like Yahoo, Google, MSN Search, Lycos, and the Alta Vista, and the etc. also. Then most relevant nursing database, they are as follows. Means most relevant nursing data, it will available on the Sinhal. First, that is the, what is the full form Sinhal here? Cumulative Index to Nursing and Allied Health Literature. So this is the main website, from that we can go for the literature review. Second one is the PubMed. PubMed can be used to search research abstracts, or that is available by this link also. Third thing is Medline. These are the most commonly used: Sinhal, PubMed, and the Medline only. Next thing is the Cochrane database of the system reviews. We can also go for the literature review by these sites also. Then next is the Registry of Nursing Research. So with the help of this also we can go for review of literatures, because these all are the certified sites, or these will contain the only published or refined subjects or refined knowledge only. So they will provide us the good source of knowledge, only particular these sites. Then PsycInfo. What is the full form of PsycInfo here? That is a psychological information. It means this site will provide us the information about the psychological related issues or the psychological related problems only. Then other online journals are the, like these are the some other online journals. Then other online databases are the, like first for the HIV and AIDS information we are having this sites also. Then information on the hazardous hazards we are having this site. Then combined health information database also. Then toxicology database networks also. Then next is the Cancer Light. Cancer Light is the cancer literature. Means the if we have to search the literature review on the cancer topics, then we can go for the Cancer Light also. Then EMBAS. EMBAS, what is the full form of EMBAS here? Experta Medica database. Usually these are the full forms which usually asked in the exams also, in the final exams also. So please pay attention on this full forms. So EMBAS. Next is the ATOH. What is the full form of ATOH here? Alcohol and the Alcohol Problem Science Database. Next is the Health Star. What is the full form of Health Star here? Health Services Technology Administration and the Research. Next is the REDIX. Full form of REDIX is Nursing Managed Care Database. Then CD-ROM, its full form is Compact Disk Read Only Memory with Research. So these are the some full forms, and these are the some sites, or these are the some certified sites by which we can go for the review of literature. Then next is the, so till now we have studied about the electronic sources of the review of literature. Second is the printed sources. So what are coming under the printed sources? Printed research summary may be located from the printed abstracts such as the like nursing research abstracts, psychological abstracts, dissertation abstracts, international, or the master's abstract international. So these are the some abstracts which are usually published or which are usually printed sources. References of the other printed sources may be located through the indexes such as the Cumulative Index to the Nursing and Allied Health Literature, the Nursing Studies Index, and the Index Medicus. So these are the some indexes which can also have available in the printed sources also. Then we are having the different journals also which are usually coming under the printed sources only. There are some national nursing journals and the some international journals also coming under the printed sources. Next, our sources of review of literature are the research reports also. Then unpublished dissertations or the thesis, means the thesis or the dissertation which have not published also, then too also we can review for our studies. Then magazines and the newspapers also we can see. Then conference papers and the proceedings. Next, encyclopedias and the dictionaries also, and the books also. So these are the some sources of review of literature. So today we have studied about the first our introduction of review of literature, then definition of review of literature, then importance of review of literature, then purposes, and next comes to the sources of review of literature, that consists about the primary sources and the secondary sources, and next it will consist the electronic sources and the printed sources. So this is some information about the review of literature. Next comes to the questions. So for our first question is, what is the importance of review of literature? Our second is the, what is the difference between primary and secondary sources of literature review? And our third one is, write the full form of following. Usually these full forms, they are the important full forms. Usually they are asked in the exams also, in the final exams. Clear? So please pay attention on these full forms. If you have any queries, then ask on me. Okay, thank you.